Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video on this channel. I'm really excited to be bringing you some fun lifestyle content. You can expect to see a lot of thrifting, crafting, sewing, vlogs, travel, my cute dog, all of these things, and I'm really excited to bring you along on the adventure. Now I am filming in my living room. I hardly ever film out here just because of all of the things that could possibly happen. I live on a busy street and my dog, you could probably already hear him, but I wanted to come out here because I love this basketball, so I wanted to show it off for my first video. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you and trying on all of the clothes that I have made myself. So I actually started garment sewing the summer after I graduated from college. I'd actually dabbled in sewing a little bit throughout my whole life because I inherited a sewing machine from my grandma, which I still have today and really love. It's such a solid machine. So I've always kind of known how to sew, but it wasn't until after I graduated college that I needed something to just give me a little bit of substance in my life. So I started collecting houseplants and I also started sewing my own clothes. Okay, so I closed my blinds to avoid the light streaks all over me during this. So hopefully this is still looking okay. So this is the first item I want to show you. It is an Ogden Cami by the company True Bias. So that is where I got the pattern from. It is an indie company, which means that you can buy the pattern online and print it off at home or at a print shop. So it is a really simple cami with super easy construction. This one specifically has a nice eyelet design on it, and this fabric was actually from a dress that I cut up. So it was a dress that never really fit me very well to begin with, and I never actually wore it, but I liked the fabric, so I held on to it. And now it is this beautiful shirt. I would say that most of my clothes that I've made are Ogden Camis. I think I've made at least 7 of them, and I hope that I've remembered all of them so that I can show you all of them, but this is the first one. And the second thing that I want to show you today are these pants. I actually made these pants yesterday, and they're not finished at all, but I will show you them anyway. So they have a very balloony shape to them, which is something that I don't know, I like it, but I don't at the same time. So I'm trying to figure out how I can amend them to be more what I want. I do have another pair of pants that I made from this pattern, and those ones are much more loungewear, so it's not weird that they're super balloony, but these ones are made from a linen viscose blend I got from Blackbird Fabrics. And I was never sure what to use the fabric for because when I got it, I wasn't a super fan of the color, but it actually works really well for pants. So I'll do a 360. I mean, you saw a little bit of a 360 when I was showing you the shirt. You can see that the stitching is actually white because at the moment I don't have any matching thread, and I'm not going to go out to the store during quarantine to go get some. So I decided to just use white and then fix it later on. And so yeah, these pants are still in progress. I haven't finished off the hem. You can see I have like a cuff here. So these ones are still a work in progress, but they are wearable, and I love wearing my makes before I can really wear them, if that makes sense. It makes me feel like a bit of a rebel. Okay, so the next clothing item I have to show you is this dress right here. It goes to about my knee, and it is so lovely. I love this dress so much. I've put it on again, and I'm just sort of reminded why I love it so much. And I actually did wash it for the first time pretty recently. I made this for my bridal shower a year ago, and I haven't washed it because, well, I mean, I really didn't get it dirty, so I didn't feel the need to wash it a lot. And honestly, I haven't worn it a ton, but now that I've put it back on and it did shrink a little bit, I feel like it fits me a lot better and it's a little bit more flattering. So let's talk about the pattern. This is an Ogden Cami bodice, and then just a simple gathered skirt on the bottom with pockets. I feel like there are not enough pockets to go around in women's clothing. So I decided to square off the neckline. You can see that it has a nice square neckline, and it still comes up pretty high. I like this because I can bend over and not really worry about anything, like, not that anything's gonna pop out, but just being able to see straight down. Hold on, we have a siren. So the back still has the V that is like pretty customary for the Ogden Cami, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I really love this dress. It's very balloony and girly, and I love it so much. All right, so this next item is actually another dress hack. So this is originally the Peppermint Peplum top, and it was actually a free pattern, so you can probably still download this from Peppermint magazine. And when I put it on, I actually put it on backwards, but something that I really enjoy about a lot of my clothes is you could wear them backwards or forward and just kind of like mess with the look, whichever way that you wear them. So you can see that the fabric is a really sweet calico print, and actually when I wear this I kind of feel like a little girl, but I do really enjoy this dress, and I just went to go reach for pockets, and I guess I didn't put pockets in this one. Since the original pattern is a shirt and it's meant to be sort of loose fitting, when I made it into a dress, it just kind of looked really big and it wasn't very flattering, which is fine a lot of the time, but sometimes, you know, I want it to be known that I do have a shape. So I added in these waist ties right here to just like cinch it in. The length is actually just underneath my knee, so it is a nice longer dress. So I was a teacher for a year, I should add that. So a lot of the dresses that I made during that time were a bit longer. Now when I'm making dresses, I am making them just a little bit shorter. I did make this dress for my birthday last year. If you can't tell by now, I like to make things, like for certain occasions. And I don't know, it just makes it feel more special because now I'm always gonna remember that I wore this dress on my 23rd birthday. It feels very special to me, and I got a new dress out of it, so I really like that. So this bodice is double lined and the inside is this nice little stripe. This was actually an old sheet. Okay, it definitely fits better this way. When it was the other way, I was wondering why it was so tight. Okay, so the next ones I wanna show you are two makes, and I'm combining them into one so that I can show you just sort of how they work together, how I would pair them. So this first one is an Ogden Cami hack, and it is hacked into a peplum top. And honestly, like, this looks so different than my other Ogden Camis, and I love it so much because this pattern can be made and shape shifted into so many different things. It's seriously the best. But anyway, enough about that. The bottom here is a single gauze, and I actually bought it for a dress. And then I realized that single gauze is like very see-through, and that would have never worked. So instead I made this little peplum bottom, and it works perfectly like this, especially when it's gathered. It's definitely not as see-through. And the top here is just 100% white linen. The straps have a little knot detail, and this is made out of the gauze. So it is like pretty thin because the gauze is very stretchy, so it kind of like pulls and gets thinner. I made this actually for my hen's night, my bachelorette party, and I wore white pants and this white top, and then underneath it I've paired it with this black sort of mock neck turtleneck top. And I actually made this to be strictly a layering piece. Just with where I live, I don't need to have a big winter wardrobe. It just doesn't make sense for me because we have winter for like 2 months out of the year. So I decided to make a layering piece that I could layer stuff like this over, and I feel like it looks really chic. Like, this looks super cute. I love wearing it like this. And I actually ended up making it for a wedding that I was going to because I wanted to wear underneath this like really bright set from Free People, but it was just way too cold for that. This is actually completely self-drafted. I didn't follow any sort of pattern, and it was my first time making my own like not tight sleeves. Like, I never put sleeves on my clothes. You're gonna notice not a lot of my clothes have sleeves because they kind of freak me out, but this one worked out really nicely. It took a lot of different tries to get the sleeves in the right places, and I tried to do a bell sleeve, but obviously it didn't really work, and they are a little bit short for me, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. All right, you guessed it, we have another Ogden Cami. So I made this actually as a set. I have a pair of shorts that go with it, and anytime I wash these shorts, at the beginning, they would fray open because honestly, I didn't do a very good job with the seam work on the shorts. And so they have had to get like progressively smaller and smaller because I had to close up the seams many times. So they used to be a lot more loose and I liked them a lot more before, but you know what, it's all part of a learning experience. I bought this fabric for $5 for 2 yards at a discount fabric store where I live, which is honestly insane to me. I was so excited when I got that deal because it feels like a linen cotton blend, and I really like that a lot. And it is double lined, so I mean, it does make it a little bit warmer, but I could wear the shirt like right side out or inside out and it feels the same. So I've thought about like embroidering something on the front here and then maybe on the inside just having it be blank so that I could wear it embroidered or wear it normal. As you can see with this top, it isn't the regular V scoop of the traditional Ogden Cami. I did decide to square off the neck. This was the shirt that I was sort of experimenting with that, and I really love the way it turned out. The back still has the scoop, so if I wanted the scoop, I could have the scoop, but I really enjoy this straight across front. It's really hard to show black fabric on camera, but the shorts have a sort of paper bag quality to them, and this was like my first time doing paper bag. Whoa, don't fall. This was my first time doing a paper bag waist as well, and it turned out really nice. But yeah, they just go to like mid-thigh, and I really like them. You can't really see super well. Alrighty, so the next dress that I have made is the Jessica dress by Mimi G. This is actually one of the first dresses I ever made 2 years ago when I started sewing. So there are a lot of things that are not particularly perfect, but I thought that this pattern was actually very intricate. I am very proud of myself that this was one of my first makes and it looks this good. One of the biggest challenges of this dress is probably the buttonholes, because I hate buttonholes, and for some reason the buttonhole foot on my machine just always gives me trouble, so I just end up like freehanding the buttonholes, which is probably so cringy to hear, but that is just what I do. It is a midi length dress. It goes to like halfway down my calf, and it is like a nice princess seam dress, and it has a shoulder tie right here. So this dress has definitely had its trips back to the sewing machine just due to the fact that I did not secure my stitches very well. That is something that I'm learning to do while I'm sewing and not like after the fact when I realize that there's a hole in my dress. So you can see here that there is a hole, and I have repaired this before, but the fabric is just kind of like going away. So I might have to do some sort of visible mending, because I don't think that I can like grab any more fabric to pull it together because it's frayed so much. This fabric is actually from a local Tucson store called Fabrics That Go, and it is like a very bright red with purple polka dot things, so I have some nice pink buttons to match. All right, so while I'm in the groove of buttoning and unbuttoning 100 buttons, I thought I would show you this dress. This is another Jessica dress by Mimi G, and this one has pockets. I remembered to put in some pockets this time. I'm very, very glad that I did. So anyway, I have this beautiful 100% linen mustard colored dress, and I love this dress so much. Now that I'm putting it on again, I'm remembering like how good it looks on me and how much I love it. You could definitely use an iron to like flatten everything out, but I washed it recently and didn't iron it, and you guys know how linen goes. I just realized one of the buttons wasn't buttoned. That's embarrassing, I'm sorry. All right, so speaking of buttons, on this dress I decided to use these really beautiful big wooden buttons just because I liked the way that they looked with the yellow. I thought that it was really pretty, and I don't really have much more to say about this dress. It is also midi length, and I love it. All right, so this next outfit is one that I am very well acquainted with. I wear this outfit like literally all the time when I'm lounging around the house. So I'll first start off with showing you yet again another Ogden Cami. Are we bored of them yet? I'm not. So this is a like full length Ogden Cami. It goes to about the bottom of my hip bones. Oh, I should also say that this is my very first Ogden Cami ever, and I got this fabric at a local fabric store in their remnant area, and it was probably about 1.5 yards, and I got it for so cheap. I need to go back there because that was incredible. Anyway, it's 100% quilters cotton, I'm assuming. I mean, it feels like quilters cotton, but it has turned out to be a really nice shirt. Looks really nice. So yeah, I love this shirt. It is such a go-to, honestly. This is also the only Ogden Cami that has a short lining. So something that I really love about the Ogden Cami is that it is double lined, which means that there is an outer and an inner. You can see, I showed you guys that before. This makes it a lot easier to not wear a bra with these types of shirts because, I mean, obviously you can tell that I'm not like super gifted in that area, and I don't like wearing bras. So if I can wear a shirt that has like a double layer or lining, it kind of just like conceals everything and I don't really have to worry about it. I guess that's all I have to say about this one. Oh, let me show you up close. The fabric is like a blue calico, and I really like it. All right, so these pants are the same pattern of the first brown pair of pants that I showed you, as well as those black shorts that I said kept shrinking. So I've used that pattern quite a bit, and I really enjoy it. But for some reason with the brown pair, they just went very balloony, and with this pair and the shorts, I didn't have that problem. So I don't know what I did wrong, but anyway, these ones I just made a regular 1-inch elastic waistband, which I really like. Also, these pants are made out of old sheets, so it's definitely not a high-waisted pair of pants, but I like pull them up on the sides to make it high-waisted, and then I get a bit of a camel toe, which is not great, but I usually just wear them around home. I don't really wear them out, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'll show you the fabric on these. It's a nice, like, soft, silky, like definitely loungewear or pajama fabric. So okay, I still have my balloon pants on because I don't want to change them, but check out this Ogden Cami. I made this one different because it has a little bit of a frilly moment. You can see a little bit of a ruffle. These sleeves took me way too long to make. I'm not even gonna say how long it took to figure out how to do it. It's actually embarrassing, but it's so cute. I love this top so much. The fabric really doesn't have much of a stretch in it, and I don't remember what this fabric is called, but it's really great for dresses and things like that. I originally bought it with the intent of making a paper bag skirt, and then I made the paper bag skirt and it looked so bad, and I cut it up and made it an Ogden Cami. So that was not the original plan. Back has a traditional scoop neck, and the length is about to the top of my hip bones. A little bit longer and not super cropped. It's a little bit in the middle. This fabric is also so beautiful. Like, it really just speaks for itself, and it feels very feminine with these nice little frillies right here. All right, so I have I have two more Ogden Cami things to show you, and then we're done. So thank you for sticking around this long if you're still here. Okay, the next Ogden Cami is this one, also in Rifle Paper Co. fabric. I bought this fabric from Rifle Paper Co. when I was in college, like 4 years ago. It was so long ago, and it was like mid-college. Okay, so I'm not that old, but it was a while ago. And I made a pillow out of it, and then I had some leftovers, and I decided to make a hair bow, and then I had more leftovers, and I decided to just hold on to it. And it turns out when I started sewing clothes, I had just enough to make the front of an Ogden Cami. So when I say the front, the back is just plain white, which honestly, you can see, it doesn't bother me at all. The straps are the blue fabric, the front is the blue fabric, and it's kind of like a color blocking moment. Like, that's a thing, right? The lining is also white, so I really did not have much fabric to work with, but the Ogden Cami is a really great scrap buster, so that is a big reason why I love it so much. This one sits like not even, I guess like at the very, very top of my hip bones. I mean, it is a short shirt. I like to wear it with like high-waisted things. I really only have high-waisted things anyway, so it works out really nicely. All right, you guys, we have made it to my final make that I wanted to show you. This is another Ogden Cami dress hack. And this one is very similar to the one that I wore on my bridal shower, the white one. But this one is a beautiful rose pink. This dress is 100% linen, and I haven't washed it yet, so it still has a little bit of a stiffness to it. So I'm sure that once I wash it, it will kind of settle into itself a little bit more. I really should pre-wash my fabric, but usually my makes are too big for me, and then I wash them and then they fit perfectly. I don't know how it works out, but I usually get pretty lucky. The front of the dress is a square neckline. It is really blending in with my skin. I am so pale right now. I'm really sorry, but anyway, you can see that it is a square neckline, and I have thicker straps for the Ogden Cami, which sort of proved to be a little bit of an issue when I was creating the dress, because you can see there's just like a little bit of pulling. Like, it's definitely not the most perfect garment I've ever made, but I do really enjoy it. It has a very balloony shape, and it goes to just about my knee. I'm still wearing the white pants underneath, but yeah, it goes right to my knee. And this one, it just looks really nice. I really, really love this dress. And wait for it, pockets. All right, you guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing all of the clothing that I have made for myself. If you have ever wanted to make your own clothes, I want to tell you that you can do it. It is actually, and I can't say it's easy, but it is worth it, 100%. Start off with that Ogden Cami. You just saw me make the Ogden Cami in like 20 different ways, and honestly, they all look different from each other. So if you're looking for a good pattern to start with the Ogden Cami from True Bias. I hope that you are just excited as me to see what will become of this channel. I mean, I am just really itching to see, you know, like what the future holds for us. So thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!